Much has changed since the college's foundation, and at a time of rapid technological and social change and multiple global challenges, it's timely to think about the next 60 years. The first step in addressing these future needs is our plan for a creative hub. Let us show you how we got here and what we plan to do.
When I first came to Churchill, it felt like home in a strange way. There was this kind of like freedom of thought that I really liked. During my stay here, I got really into VR. In my last year, I was the president of the VR and AR Society. Location was the greatest challenge. When I was working in my old college room, which is small but can still accommodate, but it was high time summer and it was sweltering. So I just had to work through and like sweat down my face. Machine, please don't overheat. It was all really new and emerging, and none of the other colleges were picking it up. And I say, none. It was only Churchill, and when we spoke about it to Malcolm, Malcolm was like, we need this stuff. This is the future. We want our students to have access to all this equipment so they can actually get ideas moving.
Interdisciplinary thinking in the arts is crucial. Language, whether that's a visual language in a painting, or language in a poem, or scientific language in a report, never exists in a vacuum. All these different disciplines and genres are drawing on similar concepts, ideas and words, and understanding how these migrate and move from one to the other is vital if we're to understand how we communicate knowledge to one another.
Be it science, be it humanities, the mixing and merging of techniques allows us to explore different ways of solving problems in a unique setting. It's this interdisciplinary which is ultimately driving new fields in science and humanities, and I think is what's going to be key to solving the next challenges within our society and science.
We do need a space within which students can work together in a creative environment and produce new stuff.
And the new stuff will be housed in this so-called creative environment in two ways. We have analog workshops where people can use saws, hammers, things of that kind to make stuff. Then we have more 21st century technology with a digital studio. And then above that, we have a series of private study spaces. All of these activities will be underpinned, inspired and influenced by what happens in the project space. That's exhibitions, contemporary artworks, screenings, talks by engineers, architects, philosophers, poets, performances, poetry readings, music recitals, even ballets at the front of the Creative Hub, where the doors will be opened onto the street, inviting the public into the space.
Lovely idea, isn't it?
We're a very successful college, but we can't take for granted that we'll always attract the best students. We need to keep always at the cutting edge of things, and the Creative Hub puts us at the forefront of new kinds of thinking and new ways of doing things.
When I left Churchill, I formed a multidisciplinary collective called Assemble with other people from Cambridge and started doing projects together. We're 10 years old now. During that time, we were nominated and won the Turner Prize in 2015. So the college approached us to talk about making a space for interdisciplinary work, where people can come together from different backgrounds and make things happen. This project is based in what was the old oil stores in the college. All of the existing walls are kept intact and all of the light comes from above. And the idea is to put in here different spaces for making things. There's a tool room, a space really that has got basic facilities that will allow you to 3D print something, laser cut something, the kind of basic tools that you require that you can use handily within college to start making stuff. All the different spaces are adaptable. They can be used individually or together, depending on function. Some of the elements within the design can actually be delivered with students, whether that's the roof or the staircase, where really we can work with engineers or architects, students to try and develop something that's really innovative.
While it's true that students from different disciplines, they get access to these tools from their respective departments anyways, that's currently very exclusive. For example, I mean, if you're an engineering student, you would have access to 3D printers and maybe even tools like this virtual reality headset. But if you're a student from a different discipline, you may not necessarily have access to those same equipment. But if you had something like the hub, and you provide access and also tutorials on how to use all these tools from different disciplines, I think that would produce much more holistic students. Having this whole experience of working with students from different fields has been really, really helpful, because now, I've picked up skills from these students that I didn't have before. It's one thing to just bring students together, but it's another to bring them together and give them access to this equipment. But having a place like the Hub, I think it would be really unique, because then it would be a place for students to both socialize and work on projects. A fantastic mix of work and play.
At Churchill College, we've always looked to the future. We've always attracted the brightest, the endlessly curious. And when it comes to resources, we've always tried to give those curious minds the very best, so that they can create, explore, and play with the next breakthroughs in technology and more. We've already come a long way, but we'd like to enlist your help in making this journey to the next phase. You're already part of our history. Now we need you to be part of our future.